What was his name again?
Welcome back to another edition of Ego on Break. I'm your host, Dynamite J. Andrews. Got the Mississippi Madman, Logan Creed, sitting at my side. And we're going to talk wrestling, do a little something different. Hadn't talked wrestling in a while. And talk about Ring of Honor, talk about the Great Southern Eight, and just whatever else comes up.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the Ring of Honor situation?
I'm not sure what they're going to do. Hopefully, they're going to do a break and then come back.
I mean, that's what I see is...
Now, I read where, what was the main guy that is over Ring of Honor like that? He said he pushed and pushed and
Joe
pushed.
Koff.
Just like begging him not to do it. And I kind of understand when you're giving up all that money. And I don't get why they don't go back to the crowds. Everybody else has.
Yeah. And I think that's probably what they're going to try to do in April.
But you let everybody go, dude.
Well, I think what it is
AEW is buying up people left and right.
I
picked up.
I don't think Ring of Honor, the company, it was in such bad shape as much as the parent company.
Yeah.
And I think they on whole went into a cost-cutting measure.
Oh no, I understood it, but at the same time, I'm just like, everybody else is going back to crowds. You might as well do it too.
Oh, I agree.
Just take safety precautions. How do you take safety? You don't.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it's a risk. Here's something I come up with.
It's a risk driving down
the
the street. You know?
Before COVID, you could still go out and get sick. Okay, well, see, if you're not a stupid person and you realize before COVID you could still go out and get sick, it was still possible.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing, man. Like, there's always a risk with everything. So,
that's.
But I'm hoping that maybe, I don't know how many of the original people or how many people they have now they'll be able to get back. But at the same time, who's to say they want them back? Because if they're going to like a cost-cutting measure, they may have to go back to ROH Day One type stuff.
Like,
where you got a lot of people you never heard of.
Yeah.
I
was even thinking about it earlier. I was like, what if they decide not to bring back Jay and Mark? They've been there forever and a day. But is it they've been there so long, everybody's kind of like, okay, it's Jay and Mark.
I think so.
And, same thing with, oh crap, I went blank. Machismo.
Yeah, Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
That's where I went blank. But like he's been there forever. Great wrestler. I like him. I like all these guys.
Those, yeah.
But like, what if they're like, okay, but you've been here a long time. If you don't go away, how can I miss you? That's the whole scenario.
And the cool thing is, like, they've paid them and kept them a job as long as they could.
Oh no,
so in reality, they could have pulled this 18 months ago or 2 years ago.
And like we know Shea Edwards. He just was getting in the door good. Now is that somebody they're like, okay, he's a fresh face. And we were just putting him on TV. He was getting over. Do we bring him back?
Right.
Or do you let him go because he's a newer guy? There's a lot of ways you could look at this, really.
I mean, I think they're going to need a handful of guys.
I think they're a big bunch of idiots.
Yeah. I mean, I think they need a handful of guys that are name value. Who those 5 or 6 guys are, nobody knows. But at the same time, if it's a restructure they have, then they're going to have to restructure it, But they're saying like family friend or fan friendly return or whatever. So I don't know if that's the thing, is like, let's go away like you're saying, and then let's make them miss us, so that way when we do come back.
Oh, let me ask you this: if you're picking 10 to bring back, pick me 10.
Oh man, okay, 10 just off the top of my head.
And it don't gotta be tag team, just individual wrestlers.
I'm gonna say Shane Taylor and his crew, and that's counting O'Shea, so that's 4.
So you just killed half your roster.
Well, I killed it, or built it
I'm just saying, all you picks.
Brody King.
What I'm saying is you pick one group, so they're not really feuding within a group.
Right, but
but you can,
right?
You can.
I mean, there's nothing saying that Shane can't turn on them.
Exactly.
I think Brody King would definitely be there. I think you need some vets. So I'm going to say like Homicide. What is that? That's 5. Mm-hmm. Let's go Danhausen, just because you need that entertainment value.
And he's king of the internet right now.
So he would be 6. Mm-hmm. Dalton Castle would be 7. Brian Johnson would be 8. I'm a big fan of Brian Johnson. Josh Woods be 9, and probably Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
Or if not Jay Lethal, I was gonna say Jonathan Gresham,
See,
but I think
my go-to.
I think I would rather have Jay Lethal for the veteran presence. So with him and with Homicide, with Dalton, Brody King, those are some guys that's been there, been all around. Shane, is a vet guy. So I think it's a nice little mix.
Yeah. But I mean, I've always read where like if you have 10 people, you can start a company if you do it right.
Yeah, and I don't know if that would be the right 10.
You definitely got a mix.
I mean, I'm a little showing a little favoritism with O'Shea. Like I love O'Shea. I think he is a star in the making.
Yeah.
He just got you had to get the jersey. You know what I mean? So I was kind of excited to see where he would be in 2 or 3 years. Who would you pick?
I was gonna say O'Shea. He's my top one. Him and Danhausen. I'm gonna do something weird. I would say Jay Briscoe, not Mark. Break him up. So that's 3.
That's different.
Bandito.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot. Jonathan Gresham. So that's 5. Let's see here. I'd say Shane Taylor. I like the tag team that's with him, but
I mean, if you had to just pick,
yeah, I don't want to go with the whole group. So, what's his damn name? I can't think of his name. I went blank. The one that's they just brought into the technical team with Jay Lethal. The white dude. He was with Benjamin.
I know
Kenny King.
Rhett Titus.
Rhett Titus. I'd bring in Rhett because he's another.
That's a vet.
He's been there forever, but he's just never really gone straight up. And I think if he was one of the key players, he could. I'd actually say Kenny King too. Brody Lee, and I would actually say PCO because I think PCO adds a lot to the back.
For sure. I mean, I don't know if there's any more. Like he's the Terry Funk of Ring of Honor,
And I would if I had to start, if I was just gonna start a feud out of that group, 10, I'd give you the 2 I would start with, and it's gonna sound kind of weird, but if you go back and watch his wrestling match, it'd work. But if you get Gresham and Danhausen, and I swear I'd put him in a technical match.
Really?
Yes, because if you go back and watch his stuff before he became Danhausen, that dude was a technical son of a gun. And I bet it'd be entertaining as hell because Gresham isn't just Mr. Personality, but Danhausen is. Could it bring it out of him? And then I would go with PCO and Brody Lee because that's just a tear it up, kill each other. And then I would go Shane Taylor and Jay Lethal.
I mean,
I was thinking about the matches and the people that fight them before.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing like some Shane Taylor, Dalton Castle stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I guess if I'm picking out of my crew of
the reason I didn't pick Dalton's because he's had so many injuries. That's the only reason I wouldn't pick Dalton.
I can see that. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it's so crazy, like, to think, like, what was it, 2002 when Ring of Honor kicked off? And, wow, man, it's been a crazy, almost 20 years.
I mean, I hope it's savable. I hope it isn't gone. I heard rumors that AEW is very interested in their tape library.
Yeah.
Which makes sense considering their roster, a lot of them started
I'm
there.
sure, AEW and WWE would definitely be.
Oh, no, they'd be crazy if they didn't buy it.
But now, I'm hearing reports it is for sale. I'm hearing reports it's not for sale.
Who knows?
So,
it's wrestling rumors. Because everybody was like, what's his name? Why'd I go break? Karrion Kross loved his new mask in WWE, and now that he's fired, he's like, yeah, I hated that piece of shit.
Yeah, I didn't even see it. So.
It looked like Demolition.
Okay.
Literally looked like Demolition. He's like, a fan had wrote, man, I want that mask you had in WWE. You don't want that piece of shit.
So. I don't know, like, it's hard to pick 10, but like another guy, and I just thought about him, like, I think EC3 would have to be on my roster as well.
Well, I mean, you really need like 20 guys
Yeah.
to run a good show.
I mean, if
But
you
would
gave me
just,
20
okay, if you got 20,
If you gave
got
me 20
10,
guys, all right, let me ask you this. Is there guys you would get rid of?
I guess I would, honest to God, break up the Briscoe brothers because they've been together so long.
But you mean break them up as only one would be there?
Yeah, for a while.
Because, I mean, they've been broke up
You can bring
before.
Mark back. It ain't like Mark's gone forever.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if I had to restart the promotion, I mean, you're looking at a former champion.
I mean,
you know
I
what?
can agree. Jay Briscoe's a top guy. Like,
Yeah, and his promos are awesome. I mean, or you make it flip it and make Mark be the guy you bring back and not Jay. And let Mark have the chance, like I was saying about him a while ago. I mean, if you haven't had that opportunity because somebody outshines you, maybe it's your turn to shine.
yeah.
You got to think about it that way.
Hmm.
You know, okay, if Hogan wasn't there, you think Macho could have been Hogan? It's possible. Yeah, there's
I mean, 'cause
always
all
a
it takes
reason you
is-
didn't shine as much as you should
Yeah, I
because
mean-
somebody else had the bigger
Well, that's the thing. There's only so many spots.
Yeah,
And if
exactly.
it's broke, if it ain't broke, you're not going to fix it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, like, why get rid of one just to get the other, you
That's
know?
why everybody's like, well, this guy's going to AEW from WWE. And I'm like, there's only so many spots. And
Yeah.
Dark's so damn overloaded. it ain't
AEW
funny.
is already flirting with we got too many people.
They do.
I mean,
And I,
I mean-
get like Keith Lee's great, Karrion Kross is great, and all these other guys that just got let go are good wrestlers, but where do you put them? Or do you say, you know, the hell with these indie guys I'm bringing in all the time and get a hold of these guys because they are names? That's kind of what happened to TNA with Impact.
I mean, they're names, but are they really names? You know what I mean? Like, if you put, okay, if you just put one person on a poster,
Oh no! If I walked in here and I asked people who Keith Lee is, 90% couldn't tell you who
Right.
the hell he is. I know because I'm a wrestler,
right?
and you know because you're a wrestler and a promoter. But the average Joe doesn't know who the hell he is.
Yeah, I
Karrion
mean,
Kross, same thing. He
I
wasn't there
remember-
for a cup of coffee.
I remember when I booked Jazz for an event,
Nobody knew. Who
and
he
I was, even though she had wrestled at WrestleMania, you know, been women's champion, all that. Like, I had people going, "Oh, is that Booker T's wife?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, they didn't know the difference between Jazz and Charmel.
I'm telling you, and if you don't have that name, like I say, Hulk Hogan, Booker T, but a lot of people still, they may not. You know Hulk Hogan because he did movies, he
Yeah.
did TV, he did WrestleMania,
Commercials and-
everything. You know, Rocky 3 movie.
I mean, he was the focus. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like,
But WWE doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
It's WWE, which in a way it's helped them, in a way it's hurt them.
right. I mean, I don't think they'll ever get the popularity.
The only person right now in that company that has that kind of name value, in my opinion, is Roman
Roman, yeah. Is Brock still there?
and Brock. Yeah,
would
yeah.
say
Well,
that'd
he's
be
he's a part time, right?
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
don't
I
count.
count him, but I don't
Yeah.
count him. You know what I mean?
And I don't know if Roman would even.
He's the closest though.
Yeah.
He's their name guy. He is their Hulk Hogan.
I mean,
right
he
now.
should be.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
yet
he
he's a
has
bad guy.
all the tools. Well, he should be that.
Yeah.
He has all the tools. All what he needs is a credible baby face.
He doesn't
You know.
really have one. They're trying to do Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, from what I've been hearing. But
Yeah, that's not.
they
Gonna
done beat that bush to
Yeah.
death. Ain't too many tree limbs left on it. But
I mean, it's such a weird dynamic of wrestling. Like, you know, just a year ago we were talking about how great it was, how great of a time it is to be in wrestling, and now we see all, you know.
well, it seems like a good time to be a like MLW or
Yeah.
hell, y'all for God for sake. I mean, Battles On and Ego are bringing in named wrestlers left and right now.
Right. More battles on than ego.
Well, no, that's what I'm
So-
saying. But you know, since you're co-owner,
Yeah.
part-time janitor or whatever it is you
Yeah.
are there,
I'm a fill-in.
you know, exactly. But anyway, I'm just saying y'all are bringing in more name value that way than ever.
Are there any? Let's say Ring of Honor reboots in April, right? Any of the guys that's been fired recently you're bringing in?
Oh, I'd definitely jump on Karrion Kross and Keith Lee.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
I agree with that.
I'd have to look at the whole list. That's just the two that stick out. I think Karrion was still kind of green to wrestling, and I think I was in a way what hurt him. Because he ain't got that many years in wrestling. He really doesn't.
I mean, first time I saw him was
He's not a bad worker. He just needs
was
a little
he in
more
Ring
time.
of Honor? I know he showed up in Lucha Underground
I
as
saw
like
him so many
the
places,
White
man.
Rabbit or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Now, like his mic work and his character build is great, but like his in-ring stuff is kind of.
I honestly don't even know if I've ever seen.
I've seen him
Much
wrestle
of
like
him.
5 times, and I like. They did the NXT match with him and Samoa Joe for the title, and Joe took the belt off him. And honestly, the match wasn't very good.
Oh wow,
It wasn't.
that's saying a lot.
It was okay. It was one of those matches.
Yeah.
And that was Joe, but Joe had just been off for almost a year. He come back and looked a little bit heavier than he had, and that's his first match and all. It just, I don't know. To me, it wasn't a very good build, and it just was okay.
Do you think a guy like Jonathan Gresham could be built to be like Ring of Honor's Bryan Danielson?
Oh yeah, easily.
Like where, or does he have the personality to be him?
Oh no, well that's what I'm saying. He needs somebody like Danhausen that has that personality to bring it out of him. If you go look on Danhausen, he even talks about, he goes, I sucked at promos. He goes, and now that's all I do. So if you have no option, but that's what you got to do, you can get better and better. Bryan Danielson was not a good promo.
No,
he was
no.
absolutely drizzling.
But he
shit.
had a lot of charisma, like in the ring.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
it
like
eventually come out even
through his moves and body language and.
Yeah. But I mean, it eventually come out, and now he's a decent promo now. I ain't gonna say
Yeah, I
he's
mean-
just the king, but he's.
But I
he's
mean, after
decent.
you've been talking for 15 years,
Yeah,
you have to
no
get better.
option. There was some that never did. But
Do you think there's a? Do you think Ring of Honor has some type of idea of like a game plan? Like, let's come back and do this. Let's build toward this.
I think they're gonna go with name value. I really do. I mean, they'd be dumb not to. Like, if they do have an opportunity to bring in Keith Lee, they're crazy if they don't. You know, I just read where Bray Wyatt is literally trying to make a movie right now. He isn't doing wrestling right now.
Well, I've seen where
Well, like he legit said
Yeah.
this today.
I think this was like something that came from like Game Changer or something. Where the guy said, I have not talked to Bray Wyatt, but I've talked to people that talk to Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And they're telling me Bray is not interested in independence.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
he
I
is,
understand that.
he's a big fat contract or nothing.
Oh yeah. Well, Braun was the same way. So, I mean, I'm sorry, bro. This shit hurts.
Yeah.
And if it ain't the right amount of money, some people
And
just
if
don't
you've
want to
made
do
your
it.
name,
Yeah.
why do you need to go? I mean, we do it. The Indies do it because you're trying to build your name.
Yeah.
If you've built your name, there's a reason Hogan cost $82 million to work an indie
whatever the hell
event.
it is.
Like if I'm gonna do it, Flair's 500,000 or something. Like
Basically, it's make it worth my while.
yeah, and
But
like
I mean, there was that one time when Hogan was supposed to come back and work Big Show. Remember, it was supposed to have been the rematch.
Yeah.
Well, kind of the rematch between him and Andre, but it was going to be him and Show. And
yeah, was it gonna be in Memphis?
Yeah, and they wound up doing it on the indie show, and they said they packed the damn house
Oh,
on it
man.
now. But it was just a whole deal. They couldn't come up with terms of money. But if they would have, do you know how big that would have made? I know him and Show had worked before in WCW, but this was later on.
Yeah.
The Show was a lot better. Hogan was probably knowing how to work him a little bit better too.
Mm-hmm.
And that could have been such a hell of a build. Now, would it have been him and Andre? No. But it would have been as close as you'd ever
Yeah.
get. So, I'm just saying. I mean, Bray says, I won't work indies, but somebody throw that right amount of money at him. he
Right.
gonna
I
walk
mean,
his
I'm
ass
sure
in that
somebody's like,
ring.
"Hey, I got 200 grand."
Yeah.
But I mean, what indie is offering 200 grand? You know what I mean?
Man, he not
So,
around here, bro.
It's weird, man. It's such a weird time now. Like, I don't know. Like the Ring of Honor so just blows my mind. Like,
It floored me. It really did.
I'm dumbfounded for sure, and just trying to grasp the little bit of knowledge that's out there, and like thinking, what are they going to do? I mean, they're saying, "Hey, we're coming back in April."
Yeah.
Like we're going to revamp and this and that. But I'm just curious of what that revamp's going to consist of.
Because like a lot of people are really mad about the new NXT revamp. They're saying, it isn't the old NXT.
Yeah.
It's a lot of job matches. I saw 2.
Oh, really?
I would rather not have seen them. And they weren't good. And I was like, yep, that's enough of this. And I just cut it off.
Wow.
I mean, like my go-to right now is I still watch ROH and MLW.
Yeah.
I've got a little back into that. I mainly went back because, like, I follow Hammerstone a lot on Instagram, and I went and watched him and Fatu for the belt. That match was awesome.
It was good.
Really,
I
really
agree.
good. So, we got Warhorse. He's fixing to go to MLW.
I'm
I don't know if he got
excited
a
for
little
that.
track contract or just a match.
Yeah, but either way, it's
to
a
me,
start.
Right now, MLW is ROH right now, in a way.
Well, I mean,
You think about it.
you gotta be. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, it really is. I just know that one the closest to us, anyway.
I'd love to see maybe Jay Lethal and like Jonathan Gresham and them end up in the MLW, like an O'Shea in MLW. That'd be phenomenal.
They got so many good names right now. They got Davey Richards. They got a bunch of people.
Yep.
So, who knows? I mean, Impact may catch them.
Yeah, I hope somebody catches somebody. You know, I hope something triggers. AEW kind of triggered a little bit of a resurgence with wrestling, but I don't know if nobody has yet to
CM Punk didn't do what everybody
pop
thought
off.
was going to
Yeah,
do.
you know, like
They saying like, and I don't agree exactly, but a lot of people weren't happy with what CM Punk did because he's coming in working some of the greener guys and trying to help them get over. And
Right.
everybody's like, yeah, but they're pushing him and Eddie Kingston now, which I agree. That's a dream match for a lot of people. But that's the first real dream match that he's did. I know you can't stand Eddie Kingston, but
and I try. I really try.
I know. To me, he's a great promo. He's average.
I love his
He's
promos.
an average worker.
I mean, if you want me to believe, he does that.
Yeah.
What bothers me is when he shows up. I don't believe Eddie.
Yeah, I understand.
In the
It's his
ring.
look.
Yeah.
That's his look.
Now, do I think if I walked up on Eddie at Walmart and he wanted to kick my ass? Yeah,
He'd
probably
kick
could.
your ass. I've seen you hide behind cars.
But I mean,
So,
does he make me go like, oh look, I've got $10, and do I buy a sandwich or do I buy a ticket to see Eddie?
to me, Eddie Kingston is the Sandman. That makes sense. Like, he looks like he beat you up in a bar fight, but I don't know if I want to see him wrestle.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can put it.
But at least
Because to me, he's a good brawler. He's not a
Yeah, 'cause
great
I can say-
wrestler.
once Sandman entered the ring, it was
No, it was brawl.
But Sandman, you went to see Sandman for the entrance. You did not go
that was
see
it.
the match.
And it ended. Him and Warrior had one thing common: the entrance.
I mean, he could get in and hit somebody with a kendo stick, get disqualified, and go back out and celebrate on the way back out. It would have been good. But
Well, I was going to ask you, did you see where? Now, I think people mistook this because he didn't say, he's like, I think my in-ring work is over, but I haven't had my last match yet, is what he said. If people go back and listen to the interview, but Sabu. And I mean,
I don't know what we're talking about. But okay,
Sabu was talking about retirement.
okay, he should.
And I agree, but I mean, everybody wants to have that last retirement
Yeah.
match. I ain't said I'm retired yet. I blew my damn knee out and I ain't gone back yet.
I pitched for you to have a match the other day.
Oh, good, because I'm really getting a bad itch. And but anyway, I mean, he's an older guy, but he's one of them guys. I think Sabu should be in the back somewhere and helping other people. Because I tell you something, for somebody that never cut a promo, to me he's like New Jack. That dude can tell a hell of a
Yeah.
story. I listened to his interviews the last few days. He's a good storyteller, and I believe if he was in the back helping people, I think that would be one of the brightest things. Like, I would grab him for AEW in a heartbeat, or hell, even Ring of Honor.
Grab him for somebody.
Yeah,
I get
hell,
it.
MLW. He's worked for MLW.
So let's wrap this up. Let's say if you were bringing Ring of Honor back today,
Yeah.
who is your heavyweight? Who is your pure? Who is your tag champions?
Oh God, see, I didn't pick no tag teams. That's
No, not out of your list. Just
period.
period. Like, these are the 4 people we're going to market to a new audience.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna throw it around then. I would make Brody King my champion. I would make Jonathan Gresham my pure champion. And then I would make Shane Taylor and O'Shea Edwards my tag champions.
Okay. I like the Shane Taylor O'Shea thing. I like that a lot. I like the Jonathan Gresham. But I'm going to flip it just a little bit. I'm going to say I would make Danhausen my pure champion.
But see, I want to ask the feud. That's
Yeah.
why I said.
Just
I got my feud
because
built in already.
I don't think anybody would expect it. I would probably put EC3 as my heavyweight because there's star power there. He has a nice look.
What do you think he can pull that Ring of Honor style that people want to see as their champion?
I watched a little bit of the thing he did with the Danhausen, and where he was promoting, and I never understood the control your narrative thing.
Yes, that was
So
hilarious.
I would throw that away and bring back Spoiled Rich Kid EC3.
No, that's one I like.
And that would be who I would put. And as my tag, I'm in agreement with O'Shea and Shane. I mean, I like that.
And I might even bring back the tag team. What is their name? His tag team. That
Moses Khan.
yeah. What are they?
SOS.
SOS. Thank you. But I might would bring them in as like the feuding factor.
Yeah. And I think I would like to see Shane and EC3 as the top guy, but so maybe Shane's not the tag. Maybe it's
Well, who says you can't be both champions?
well, you can, but
Happened many times.
maybe like I don't know, so much unknown, but starting to go long. We rambled a little bit and kind of been bored a
It's
lot.
Ring of Honor, and I like Ring of Honor. I hate to see it go, man.
I do too. It's a very sad day, so hopefully it's a goodbye for now and not a goodbye forever.
Us boys here in Mississippi want to see it keep going.
Yeah.
Even though y'all never come to Mississippi.
Yeah. So, until next time,
Yep, watch wrestling.
watch wrestling.